Okay, so if we break it down, you guys, the Zoom lectures for you guys are not required. I strongly recommend that you guys attend them. That way we can interact, and then it also gives me a chance to interact with you other than seeing you guys just in labs. I can kind of put, thought process with a face. Okay.
So will our Zoom
Uh,
classes be
you
every
could,
Tuesday?
what was that?
So our Zoom classes are going to be every Tuesday?
Yeah, on Tuesday. So it's going to be Tuesday for about 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to clarify because when I signed up, I know it told me that my class was going to be in person every Friday.
No, that's the lab. The lab is every Friday, right?
Oh,
So you guys are actually in a hybrid. If you take a look at how you when you signed up, it says you guys have the course. It says asynchronous. That means it's going to be or online.
right.
It's online for the course for the lecture, and the
Uh-huh.
lab is in person.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay,
Sounds good.
no problem. Okay, so your lectures, you have two options of going to either the morning one, or I'm sorry, the afternoon, the 12 o'clock noon, or this one at this time. Your labs are on Fridays. So you guys either sign up for the 9 o'clock lab or the 1 o'clock lab. Okay. Now you guys are required to attend the lab in person. It's an in-person lab. If you're sick and you cannot make it, you need to let me know in advance so that we can try to figure out a way of you guys making up those labs. Okay. This is my contact information. This is my Harnell email. I am not the best at checking my Harnell email. I'm getting better at it. I'm working on it. So if you cannot get a hold of me via email, text me. The best way of getting a hold of me and you want a relatively quick response is to text me. Okay? And I put my cell number up there so that you guys can do that. I have tutors for this class. It's all the tutors are going to be online. There's also, you guys have tutors at the Panther Center, I believe. That will also be tutoring me for my class as well too. These are my tutors that are here in Kalinga, and they're going to be helping me out online. I'm paying them out of pocket, so I want to make sure that I get everything that I'm paying them for. So make sure that you guys take advantage of them if you're not attending or interacting with your tutors on the Harnell campus. This is just the general course information, the same thing that you guys probably looked up in your catalog. These are the learning outcomes. So at the end of the semester, you should be able to do these three things, okay? These are your course objectives. The goal is that throughout this course, we should go over all of these components, and you should have at least an understanding of those components in the course objectives. The things that you guys are going to need for this course, you guys are going to need your textbooks. You can get any edition. It doesn't matter to me, as long as you have the book. Try to get the book. And actually, if you look under Canvas Shell, I give you guys a PDF copy, and that PDF isn't the most stable, so it crashes a lot. And I don't know about you, but I like having a physical copy. For some reason, it's easier for me to flip through it and work through it rather than looking on the computer screen all day. So if you can get a physical copy, it'll help you out quite a bit. We've already talked to you guys about CHEM 101. So you want to make sure that you get subscribed, and that's under the modules, your link. I'll show you that here in a second. You guys are going to need a 3-ring binder. It's going to be about 2 or 3 inches. I give you guys a lot of lecture notes. I kill a lot of trees. Again, I'm like a physical type of person. If you are not a physical type of person and you're good at looking at things online, all my lecture notes are available under modules. And again, I will show you that when we get to modules. You'll need a scientific calculator. Lab coats, you don't have to get a lab coat. I believe you guys will have them provided. I'll have to find out for sure. But I recommend that you guys do, because you guys are going to be taking a lot of science classes. And it would be kind of good to sit there and have your own rather than having to share, especially due to COVID and everything. Goggles, we'll have goggles and safety glasses for you. They're disinfected, but again, this is one of those things that you may want to bring your own. Okay. These are some links that I find useful. I'm going to talk primarily about chemistry with Melissa Maribel and chemistry with Tyler DeWitt. So these are two YouTube personalities. So if you're having trouble understanding me, you may want to try looking at the topics that we're talking about. Like today, we're talking about matter and energy. Look at those topics under Melissa Maribel or Tyler DeWitt. It may help you understand something that you didn't understand. And I'm okay with it. It's cool. Use those resources. You guys have a lot of resources today that we didn't have when I was taking these courses. Take advantage of it. Lab safety, we'll talk more about lab safety on Friday. In the lab, it's a lot better to see and understand than the circumstances. Participation and attendance. So, as I said, you are expected to attend your lab session. Now, again, you're not required to attend the Zoom sessions. I strongly recommend it. Students that typically do better. Last semester was the first time that I taught asynchronously totally. And I still had Zoom sessions, but I only had four students out of 60 students that attended. All four of those students got A's, where I failed, or I should say I failed. The students, half of the 60 students failed the course. And part of that is because they didn't participate and they also didn't do their homeworks, and they, I'd have to constantly try to remind them to take the exams and all of those things. When you're typically coming to see me or interacting or participating, it's harder to sit there and get lost in the cracks. So we want to make sure that you guys survive. So I strongly recommend that you guys attend the Zoom sessions. Take advantage of it. Again, the lectures are going to be recorded. They're going to be posted, and you will have a lecture quiz always. So on Thursday morning, the lectures are going to be posted. Okay. You're going to get reading assignments. So you guys should read chapter 2, chapter 3. Next week, we'll be going over chapter 3. Today, we went over chapter 2. Labs, I'm going to give you your labs typically in advance. This first one is going to be the only one that you're not going to get in advance. On Friday, I'll give you the next chapter, a physical form of it, and your lab, so you guys will have it in hand. So you want to try to stay on top of things. So make sure that you're staying on top of the assignments, the homework assignments, and the discussion boards and your lab report. Okay, so my grading policy is your homework is going to be 20% of your grade. Your exams are going to be 20% of your grade. Participation is going to be 5% of your grade. Again, what I mean by participation is your participation in your lab as well as on a discussion board. I'd like you to participate again in the Zoom sessions, but it's not required. But I will add a couple of points to those who attend and those who participate. There's also going to be practice exams and your lecture quizzes. So that's going to be 8% of your grade. Your final is 15% of your grade. Your lab reports, 20% of your grade, and your group project is going to be 12% of your grade. I grade on a straight curve. So 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, and anything below that is an F. There will be extra credit. Like for instance, you guys on your Canvas shell, you guys will get 5 points extra credit added onto your final if you guys order the free COVID test from the government. I gave you a link in your module. So if you click on that and register and you give me a picture or a screenshot of your confirmation of that. If you've already ordered it, just take a picture of your screenshot or your confirmation. If you can't find the screenshot or confirmation, when it comes in, if you just take a picture of the kit and upload it, that'll also count. I also give extra credit for like attending certain events on your campus to try to get you active. Again, you're not required to do any of it. But I strongly recommend you take advantage of this extra credit points. So when I was in college, my first semester, was it my first semester? Was it my second? But anyway, I mean, my first quarter, I was actually it was my second quarter. My financial aid actually got sent to another student at Davis. And so I had no money for school. And the school, even though that they screwed up and they sent all my money to somewhere else, they were trying to make me pay for school and they were trying to keep me out. And if it wasn't for the MESA program director, they would have kicked me out after the very first quarter. But anyways, I ended up having to get a couple of jobs to sit there and try to pay my bill and everything like that until they figured everything out. So I didn't have a lot of free time. And so I didn't get a chance to go to a lot of parties and stuff like that during my first year. But when I did, I wanted to make sure I took full advantage of it. So there's this one party, one of my friends come up to me and he's like, hey man, you gotta come, you gotta come. You know, Dahlia's gonna be here. Now, Dahlia was this really attractive girl. She was really smart, she was really attractive. She had all of her stuff together, right? And I was just fiending over her. I was just like, oh my God, Dahlia, Dahlia, Dahlia. And the problem was that the very next day I had a 8 o'clock exam. And you know, I'd studied and everything like that. And I'd been studying for my exam, was trying to get ready for it and everything like that. But it was at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, I don't know. I have the exam. And he's like, come on, man, you got to come. You got to come. So he talked me into it and I broke down and came. Now, I was admiring Dahlia from afar, you know, and so I was going to try to build up enough courage to sit there and talk to her. Now, in college, I was a little bit shy and everything like that, wasn't so confident and everything like that. So I needed a little bit of liquid courage. Do you guys know what liquid courage is? Are you guys there?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what it is? Liquid
No.
courage is alcohol, right? So I need a little bit of alcohol to help my nerves. That's what I was thinking. The problem was that I didn't have them, right? Because I was worked up and everything, and I was trying to get ready to go to this party and all that stuff. I didn't even eat. So I kept drinking. Danced at the time, get my groove on, right? And then finally, I had enough liquid courage to go talk to Dahlia. So I get up to Dahlia and I'm like, hey, you know, my name is Ken, and very nice to meet you. And I've been anxious to try to meet you. And then the next thing I know, I'm throwing up all over. And I kept throwing up. So my friends trying to save me kind of pulled me back. And then I don't know about you guys, but when I get sick like that, when I start vomiting from drinking, I get all weak in the knees. And so they're trying to hold me up and everything like that. So anyway, they have to get me home. And I'm throwing up the whole night. Finally, I stopped throwing up about 5:30 o'clock, about 5:30 in the morning or something like that. And I was exhausted. I was feeling horrible and so embarrassed. Needless to say, it didn't work out between me and Dahlia. It doesn't help when you throw up on the girl that you really like, right? So anyway, I go to bed and I said, I'm going to get a couple of hours, then I'm going to try to get up and study a little bit before my exam, right? So I passed out. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. I look at my clock and it says 8:45. My class starts at 8. I am 45 minutes late. My class is all the way on the other side of campus. So literally, I jump out of the bed, I throw my shoes on, and I'm running across campus. And I get to the classroom and there's about 5 minutes left. So literally, I put my name on the paper. I begged the instructor, please give me a chance. Nope, Mr. Henry, you're supposed to be here at 8. You'll do what you can do. I put my name on a piece of paper. I answered a couple of questions, and you know, I can't remember exactly what I got. It's anywhere from 17 to 40. But it was an F. Okay, I clearly got an F on that very first exam. So, and in this class, I had 2 exams and a final. So each exam was worth 25%, and your final was worth 50%. So regardless, the best I could do was get a C because I was an idiot and I got drunk the night before. So I told myself, I said, if I ever become an instructor, I'm going to give my students one opportunity, one chance, just in case they do something as stupid as I did. So, and this is that one. This is called exam corrections. So the way exam corrections work is if you guys, let's say you get 50 out of 100. So if you get 50 out of 100, how many points did you miss?
Tonight's sheet waste reminding everybody he's in that conversation. Here comes the double. He's on the step.
How much?
50.
50.
Okay, if I take half of that 50, that equals what?
25.
25. And I take that 25 and I add it back to the 50 points that I actually got.
75.
Okay, so according to my grading scale, a 50, is that passing? Is 50
No.
passing?
No.
No, 50 is an F, right? But a 75, is that passing?
Yep.
Yes. So literally, you can go from an F to a C, right? By doing a test correction. And the way a test correction works is that after you take the exam and you figured out that you're screwed up immensely, you can get half the points that you missed back by doing these three things. You give me the reason why your answer is incorrect. You give me the correct answer, and then you give me the why the correct answer is correct. Okay, for each of the problems that you missed. Now, the reason I do this, there's two reasons. One is to give you that opportunity, right? The second reason is that I want you guys to learn from your mistakes, right? So anytime that I've ever taken an exam, after the exam, I would go back and look at it and figure out what it is that I missed, and then I'd figure out why I missed that. Part of it is so that I can argue with the instructor if I thought he was wrong. And the other part of it was that I figured at some point or another, I'm going to need to know this again. So let me make sure that I understand it now, because I may need to know it later. Okay. And so that's what I want you guys to get in the habit of doing. So you kind of get rewarded in the sense, right? So instead of having an F, you can end up with a C. Or if you have a C, you can end up with a B or an A, you know? So take that in consideration, you know?
Did you still pass that class?
Wisely.
Or
What was that?
How'd you bounce back from that?
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to bounce back.
Yeah.
I wish I had that opportunity. And this is just an example of how you'd go about doing it, okay? These are important dates. So if you don't want to take this class and you're sure you don't want to take this class, go ahead and draw it. Because I have on both of my waiting lists, I have about 20 people. So that gives them an opportunity to come in. If you know that you're not gonna participate or this is not the best way for you to do it, you know, go ahead and drop. But if you think you can do it, and I think you can do it, right? I believe that most of you guys have the ability to do it, but it's just a matter of you deciding whether or not you're gonna put in the work to get that A, right? So, or B or C. Academic honesty, don't cheat. If you get caught cheating, that assignment that you get caught cheating on, you will get a 0 for. And if I catch you again cheating, then I'm going to try to get you, well, you're going to get an F in my class, and then I'm going to try to get you out of the school, right? Some advice, make sure that you guys do your homework, do your practice exams. So I give a practice exam most cases. If I don't give you a practice exam, I'll give you multiple attempts at an exam. And in the case of the practice exam will make up about 2/3 of the exam, or they'll have questions that are very similar, 2/3 of the exam. So that means 2/3 is about 66%, right? So if you've done the practice exam, you're going to get, and you understood what you did, you can get about 60% of the answers already correct. Now, that means that you have to, or 66%. That means that you have to get 4 more percent to get that C. And then if you're a really good student, you're shooting for that A, you don't have that much more to get, right? So you want to make sure that you do the practice exam. Don't procrastinate. I know it's easy to say, but we all tend to do it. Try your best not to do it. Try to get the homework done and set up that you can do it in bite-sized chunks. Try to get it done. At Harnell, you guys have a lot of support. You actually have an incredible lab. I'm very happy that I get the opportunity to work in that lab. Very anxious about it. I'm very anxious to meet most of you guys. So take advantage of the support that you guys have. This link tells you some of the support and services that you guys have on campus. If you guys need any help in terms of, let's say you have dyslexia or anything like that, or you have test anxiety, you may want to reach out to the DSPNS program for support. You want to respect your class members, and throughout this process, I'm learning through COVID and us being online a lot, we sometimes forget that, you know, these people are people that we're going to have to work with and interact with on a constant basis. So we want to show them respect, the same respect that we want shown to us. So we want to make sure that we do that. If you have test anxiety, here's a link for test anxiety. Hopefully it can help you out. One way of helping test anxiety is to do the practice test. It'll make you a little more confident. In case of any emergency on campus, these are the numbers that you need to call. And then if you need to report something, here's the link that you would use for reporting an emergency. Let's see, classroom courtesy. If you guys have to take a phone call, let's say, and then you guys did a really good job today by muting yourself, although I would like you guys to interact a little bit more and to hear your voices, so I can kind of put, you know, voices to names and things like that, so it'll make it a little bit easier for me on lab day. And then also, if you're willing, and show yourself a little bit, turn your camera on a little bit so I can see your faces and stuff like that. By me looking at your faces, it kind of helps me understand whether you understand the material or you don't understand the material. I need to go back over it, because a lot of times you guys aren't telling me, so I need to know. So, okay, are there any questions?
So for practice exams, will that be, when will you give that out prior to the normal exams?
So usually I give the practice exam at least 3 days before the normal exams. In your case, I'm going to start trying to put things up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And so you guys, if you're ambitious, you could technically go through everything early.
Right.
I have lectures for all of the course material that I cover already available under your lecture site. So you guys can go ahead if you want to go ahead. And the material, I mean, although I may change a little bit, but it's going to be the same material.
And do you have the access code? Because I'm trying to sign in for the when I click on like the homework thing, and it says the course, it's asking me for the course code.
Good question. Okay, so let's talk about that. So the thing that you want to do, you want to make sure that you're using either Safari, not Safari, sorry. If you're using Chrome or Firefox, you don't want to use Safari or Edge when you're doing CHEM 101, because they're not supported on Safari or Edge. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're using either Chrome or Firefox as your browser. you want to go to modules, and then you want to click onto the Chem 101 link. When you click onto the Chem 101 link, this page is going to pop up. You want to load Chem 101 into a new window. So at this point, it's not going to ask you for a code because it's already put in. Chem 101 is going to pop up, and then you're going to be able to register for it.
Yeah, for mine, it's asking me for the course code. Let me try it again.
Okay, so let's take a look. So I'm going to have you, you mind sharing your screen?
Can you see it?
Yep. Okay, are you using Chrome currently?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, go to Canvas.
How do I pull that?
Actually, if you go to Hartnell's website,
Oh, there we go. Wait.
yeah, Hartnell Canvas. Okay. And you see where it says Canvas login up top, right here. It's right under that little. It looks like water drops, or a orange slice. It's right underneath there. It says, you see in big text, it says how to do. Okay, and you see Canvas login,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
the tab.
It's already logged in.
Okay, everybody close your eyes so you don't see his password. Okay.
So modules, and then
Not that one. Go.
Oh.
It's a chain link, and it says Chem 101 right
Oh.
there. Okay, so if you go to the homework tab,
Mhm.
it shows you your homeworks.
Okay, cool. And then for my exams, they'll be on quiz or
Yeah, your exams are going to either be in Canvas or they're going to be under quizzes. Right now, they're not posted.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So
And
either
and then sometimes you'll have practice exams under practice.
gotcha.
Okay,
Cool. Thank you.
no problem. Any other questions?
Did you say that we had to pay for this later on? You said?
Yes, you have. You see up top, it says your Chem 101 trials expires 02/06/22. So that's when it expires. So you want to try to pay for it before that time that it expires. And the way you would pay for it, if you hit up, you see that activate now. If you click on that, okay. So then what you would do here, it's going to have you resend your verification, and then you're going to have to, so it's going to do that, and then it's going to have you come in and pay for it. And then you'd have an active copy of your Chem 101.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Any other questions? Let's see. Yes, you can purchase the code through the bookstore. So yes, you can purchase it through the bookstore. And so when you go to the activation, it'll give you a code to actually enter as well too. So you can do that. Any other questions? Okay. If there are no other questions, I have nothing else for today. I guess I will see you guys on Friday. Make sure you guys show up on Friday. One of you guys said that you were sick. It was Selena. You're sick, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So under your circumstances, I'm not going to drop you. I'll keep you in the class. But as soon as you get better, we need to try to set up a time for you to make up the lab. Okay.
Do I email you?
Yes, email me so I don't forget. And so there's also a record of it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys.
So if we want tutors, do we just book them, or how does that work?
So I'm gonna actually have their times set up, and there's gonna be a link to how to interact with them once I get all of their information together. Right now, we're trying to figure out the times that's gonna be good for you and also good for them.
But that's
So-
also right for them.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be another link for them, so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they have other times that are available, and so you could actually just email them, and you'll be able to do that. You're asking all the right questions.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, well, I guess I will see you guys on Friday. You guys have a good night.